Hello guys, now in today's session I would like to show you a project that I've been working on. This project is about grading exams. Now this is actually going to focus on secondary school exams, that is in 12 subjects, the humanities, the core subjects like mathematics, English, Kiswahili, the compulsories, and the three sciences. There is, I have here three humanities and the two technical that are taught. So I want to begin by showing you how this system actually works. Now the aim of this system is to give grades to these students after these marks have been entered into the system. So it is going to give grades to each of the subjects and also an overall grade depending on the points that the student shall have attained, and the total marks in 7 subjects, and actually the position of the candidate in that exam. It is also giving subject ranking. As you can see, I have subject rank sheet here. In this sheet, the students will be ranked subject wise. They will know how they work, how they perform in various subjects compared to other students. We also have subject grades. This one calculates the subject grades, and then the master sheet. This is where after all those have been calculated, all those sheets will be transferred to master sheet. So actually we begin from sheet 1. Now I want to start with a demo on how the system works. So I'll click on this grade button and we will see what happens here. So let me click on the button and let's see what we get in these other sheets. So let me click on the button, and here you can see the students here have been ranked. Yeah, you can see the position. Yeah, the position of each and every student. Like this student with 71 mark is position 2. The one with the these points are not the same. You can see this is 71.4 and this is 71.5. So this let me have a look. 71 and this one 70.5 actually. This is 70. That is why this one is position 2 and this one with 71.4 is position 1. Then if you look at these two students, they have the same points and there is a tie. All of them are position 4. Now position 5 is skipped since there is a tie at position 4. So we have position 6. And you can see everything works fairly well. Now let us look at the subject ranks and see what has happened. Now you can see here each student is ranked depending on his performance of the subjects. Let's take for example this student 1 with a rank of 4 in mathematics, position 4 in mathematics. Okay, so check in the sheet 1, see Cecil 1 and is having 80. You can see we have 190. Yeah, so this is the first one, then followed by these two students, and this one is position 4 actually. So that one can easily show. Let's even look. Clarice, who is having 100 in mathematics. If you check the subject rank for Clarice, she's position 1 since she has 100% in mathematics. So that one clearly shows that grading is okay. Now let's see the the grades. Yeah, you can see all this one was 80 and this one was 100. You can remember, and all these grades are given just the way they should be, as you can see. So the grading is fine here. Okay, so if you go to master sheet, also you can see the everything that is the other side has been transferred. So why are we putting them in master sheet? Now we are putting everything in master sheet so that we use it in we use this for mail merging. If you want to prepare the students a report form, if we are to prepare for this student, if we were to prepare for this student a report form, then we need all the results, uh, in one worksheet, and that is the reason for doing this kind of merging. So this is merged well, and you can use this to perform a mail merging so that you generate a report form for each and every student. Now I want to show you now the code behind this. Now how does all this grading and all this ranking work? Now I did this using VBA. Now if this tab is not active in your computer, then you have to go to the quick access toolbar and add the developer tab to your ribbon. Once it is added, then you have this in the code section here. You can see the Visual Basic command, or you can press Alt F11 to get to the Visual Basic editor where you will enter the code. Now let's get design mode and see the code that is running behind all this system. Now let's see, if we go to Sign Micro, you can see right now we need to assign this to button 1 because that is the name of this button here. So we go to edit so that we see the code that is running behind. Now here is the code. Now I want to walk you through this whole code so that you may understand what is taking place. Now first of all, we are going to declare the variables that we use here. You can see dim L row as long, dim I, J as long, dim grade as string, dim last column as long, dim last row as long, dim points as double, dim second science. So we have three sciences, and usually all the three sciences are not recorded. All the three sciences are not recorded. Now, but the third one may be recorded if it is larger than what you have in humanity, in humanities here. Yeah. So it will be recorded for you if it is bigger than what you have in humanity. So sometimes it can even take the place of the technical. If you have performed well in this third science compared to the technical. But in the first grade, they will go for the best two, and then the other one is compared with either humanity or technical, and then a correct grade. And that is what this system is trying to do here. That is why you can see we are having, I'm checking for the second largest science, the largest technical, the largest humanity, the second largest humanity, and the third largest science. And of course, this is a variable that is going to hold the marks for the, the grade, the marks for the best technical. Yeah, and then here this is the highest science. So that's declared as double. All these are declared as double. All these subjects and the marks obtained is declared as double. And we have also declared x as integer. We are going to use it. We have declared total as integer. So first of all, we don't want the screen updating at first, so that the screen does not shake when the updates are happening. So for that reason, we have used application.screen updating equals false. And on error, we want to resume next. So that is an error handle. Then we have last column. This is how we determine the last column. Sheet 1 dot cells, special cells, Excel last cell dot column. So this is going to give us the last column in the worksheet. Now the last row in the worksheet is given as sheet 1 dot cells, rows dot count, comma 1 dot excel and end excel up dot row. Now for I equals to row, now this one is actually going to loop through the row, from the third row to the last row. Yeah, and this other loop is going to loop from the third column to the last column minus 4, as you can see here. So we are subtracting 4 because if you check this side from the right, let me say in the worksheet, from the right, this is grade, position, points, total. So these ones are not used in calculation. So that is why we are subtracting the 4. So that is the reason why you can see this 4 is subtracted from the columns, because you don't want to use the last 4 columns in our calculation. Then this is going to transfer. This one is transferred. This one is actually transferring the and the admission number, and the names to the to the subject grade from sheet 1 to the subject grade. So this is meant to transfer the name and the admission number. Now we can also do the same with the other sheet. We can also do the same with we can transfer only the names to subject rank, because if you can check in the subject grade there is no name, but in the subject rank there is name. There's a name. There are names in the subject rank. So it means that we need to do the same. This one was transferring subject grade. Okay, let me have a look what happened. Actually, it has transferred the admission number to the subject grade, but has not transferred the name. So we need also to do the same to the subject grade sheet. So in the subject grade, we will also transfer we will transfer in the subject grade, we will also transfer the name. Transfer the name. I think this is going to fix this. Let's save and get back to Excel. Let's get back to the Excel sheet and try to run this in sheet 1 once again. Let's run sheet 1. Okay, let's check the subject grade if the names are now added. As you can see, the names have been added now, and I think everything as of now everything is still okay. So let's come back here now. Here, after transferring the names, you can see we are finding the maximum science. Maximum science, we are going to use the worksheet function max. So you can see the variable maximum science is assigned to application.worksheet.max sheet 1.cell I, 6. Yeah, you can see sheet 1 I, 6. You can see sheet 1 I, 7. And these are actually referring to the sciences, the 3 sciences, and it is going to check which of them is the highest. And then we find the second best performed science. This one is given by the variable sex science. So the variable sex science will be assigned to application.worksheet.large, and you can see we are getting the second largest of this from this range here. And then the third largest, also the third largest science, application.worksheet.large 1.range FI to HI, which is getting the third largest, as you can see. So that one is getting us the third largest science. And we get the largest humanity application.worksheet.large sheet 1.range. You can see we are getting the largest humanity. Then the second largest humanity, you can see application.worksheet.function.large is getting that range of humanity and is getting the second largest humanity. And you can see the technical application.worksheet.large, and within that range we are getting the technical. Yeah, so we are getting the technical, and actually the technical is from L, as you can see. Let's see if we check our worksheet and check L. actually we are comparing the two because we may get a student who doesn't do that. So that one automatically becomes blank, and it will be treated as a 0 in that case. Therefore, it will go for the best technical for that part. So for the student who doesn't do that subject, it will be treated as a 0. Now for the technical that is going to be used, now we will now check the third science, the third best science. We check the second best humanity, and actually the technical. Actually, we were checking the two because we have to know who has this tech L. This is meant to check if the person has done uh, either of the two technicals. So if the other cell is blank, it's obviously going to pick the one that is having value. So this is checking these three, and then it comes up with a technical that will be added in our calculation. Let we get the total. Now, the first three compulsories, that is English, Kiswahili, we will just refer to the cells that are containing them, as you can see, and then we assign the total marks now to the variable total, and the total mark is in sheet 1 dot cell I 14. So it is in column 14. So if you check column 14, you can see the total marks is there in column 14 here. So that is how that column is getting calculated, because this will run from the first row to, this one is running from the first row to the last row along column 14. Column 14 is a constant, so it will go column from the third row, column 14, fourth row, column 14, evo, till it gives all the totals. So this is going to populate that column. So let's continue. You can see how we calculate the points. We are calculating the points by taking the total value here. You can see we are assigning this to total. So we are taking the total value over 700. We multiply by 84 because 84 is the total points in the 7 subjects. If the highest point that you can get is 12 times 7, we get 84. So that is why we are taking the total marks over 700 with the total number of subjects times 84. This is going to give us the mean grade for the student. So now to give the grades, we are going to use the points we have obtained here using an if else statement. We are going to assign grades to the student. So you can see if the point is greater than 70 and it is from 70 to 100, yeah, then we are going to assign now in column 16 from the third row. You can see we are assigning A in case the points falls within this range. If the points is greater than 60 and is less than 69, it will be assigned B. So it means that if the first statement does not become true, it will go to the second one. If this one is not true, it goes to the third one and checks until you can see else if this is then else there is a default value, else the value for the cell will be given as E. So anything that is now that is less than 49 will now become an E. An E. anything that is less than 49 language. So this area you can change according to how you want to grade the student. This is just for uh, this is just an example that you can use. Now, after checking that, then we assign. Now, let's get back a bit. So the points is here, and then okay. So yeah, we ought not to have these points down here. It's not advisable, so we'll remove the points and put it here, because actually we need to calculate the points before actually checking, before giving the grades. So that one should be there. So here we will check if the point is not blank. Then if the point is not blank, it will be graded, as you can see. Now this is to rank. This is actually ranking. This actually ranks the this one actually ranks the subjects, because you can see subject rank, application.val.worksheet.function rank this range. Actually, this one is going to rank the students according to the subjects, their performance in the subjects. So you can see the rank in maths, the rank in various subjects that way. Yeah, and their rank in descending order. So that is that. Then here, this is now the grade, the subject grade. Yeah, the subject is going to check various subjects and then assign a grade to them, to the students. And yeah, actually this is going to rank, this is going to give a grade to the student. So that is all. You can see at the end we activate sheet 1, and then we copy, we are named the range overall. If you can check here, we have a named range in sheet 1. So there is a named range. Let me check. Okay, let me check everything and see if, yeah, you can see if you highlight everything, this whole range, we are calling it overall. We are calling the range overall, but we can decide to extend the range overall to even cover as much as we want down here, if we like. Yeah, yeah. Depending on the number of the students that the school has. So that one is very important. The range can be extended and it will cover from there down there. So this is activating sheet 1 and then copying that range, and then it will activate the master sheet, and then it will copy, it will select range 1 and paste all the contents in that range. Then the subject grade is also activated and selected and copied, and everything will be copied to the worksheet, and then screen updating is set to true. Now that is all guys for today. If you have seen if you have if you feel that what I've done is okay, just click on the like button, and if there's anything that you may want to ask, or there's a question that you may have, then I would advise that you do that in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed, then I would advise that you do so as soon as possible, because I'll be giving a lot of tutorials on VBA, and these are useful tips that can help in life. So that is all for today, guys. Let's meet